I hope you're doing great today. Have you ever wondered about reselling? Have you ever thought, about selling something on eBay or Etsy or Facebook or Poshmark? I've sold on all four of those web pages, and I thought I'd just share with you the good and the bad about each of them. First off, the one that I've done the longest is eBay. I've been selling on eBay since 2000. They've made a lot of progress over the years. eBay still has the most traffic of the four that I've mentioned. Between eBay, Poshmark, Facebook, and Etsy, eBay by far, I've looked at the stats for, how many people come to the eBay webpage on a daily basis, and far and away, they have a lot more traffic. Of the four, in my opinion, they have the highest fees, but eBay is where I make the most of my money. It's where I've got more listings listed on eBay than any other platform because they have a proven track record for me. And because I started on eBay, I'm very comfortable and familiar with them. They're probably, of the four, they're probably the most complicated to get things listed, and it takes me the longest to get things listed on eBay. There are some time-saving hacks. I use templates a lot, and I will post things in batches. Like if I have photographs to list, I'll list all the photographs. Then I would list all the books. Then I would list all the shoes. Things like that I do in groups because you can use a template and it makes it go a lot quicker. They do have something new that they've been rolling out the last couple of years, which is item specifics. And item specifics are the bane of my existence. They probably have, every time I get all the item specifics in there that they want, they add 20 more. And there'll be things like, which category is this? Is this women's clothing or men's clothing? And it's already categorized in men's clothing, but they want you to, don't even get me going on the item specifics. I understand why they do it. They want your items to be more searchable, but there's a lot of stuff that's just not intuitive on that. And there's a lot of things that they could do on there and that they're not doing. So they're complicated to get your listings done. The second one is, as far as where I make the most money, would probably be Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is the platform of choice when the item is too big and too bulky or too heavy to ship. Think garage sales. If you have an old couch, or you have a dining room set, or you have a massive piece of artwork that isn't very valuable. And the reason I say that is because Facebook Marketplace, they're going to haggle like a garage sale. The good part is you don't pay for shipping. They don't pay for shipping. Somebody can come pick the item up. You're going to get cash. I only do cash on Facebook Marketplace. You can do PayPal, but cash is so much easier. And all sales are final. You collect the cash. They can't dispute anything. They can't return it. They've seen it in person. They've picked it up. It's probably the easiest as far as getting things listed and getting things out your door. However, you're going to get the least amount of money generally. I mean, there's exceptions to every rule, but people don't want to pay a ton of money for the Facebook Marketplace stuff. And you're going to get a lot of questions on things from people that will never show up. It's the flakiest of the four. Because it's not monitored and there's really no accountability, people will say that they're going to show up on Tuesday at 5 o'clock and you never hear from them again. And then they might pop up 2 weeks later and say, hey, is that item still available? I'm ready now. And if you don't want to fool with that kind of nonsense, Facebook Marketplace is not for you. If you're moving and you need things to move quickly, I've used Facebook Marketplace when I moved from Texas back to California. Facebook Marketplace was a surefire way to get rid of stuff quick. I was living in an apartment. I couldn't hold a garage sale. There was no place to do it. And so I did an indoor garage sale at my home through Facebook Marketplace. And I got a lot more out than I would have gotten if I had posted it on LetGo or one of those sites. Poshmark is a younger crowd, a trendier crowd. Poshmark is good if you have designer items or hot trend of the moment items. As soon as the item goes out of fashion, it'll sit and languish on Poshmark though. Whereas if you listed it on eBay, it would probably still sell, just because eBay has so many more people. Now, a lot of people on Poshmark think of eBay as the moms and grandma crowd, and eBay does tend to be an older crowd. I I've sold a few things on Poshmark. I never really clicked with Poshmark because they want you to share all your items on a daily basis. And I generally have 1,500 to 2,000 items. I'm not sharing all those. I'm not going to sit there on my phone sharing away all day. I know some people put it as part of their routine. There are some Poshmark sellers that do really well. It's just, I don't fit in there. I don't want to fool with all the sharing. I'm not a big fan of cross-posting. If I have a dress and I have it listed on eBay, the time that it takes for me to cross-post it over to Poshmark and then answer the questions from Poshmark and share it and join their parties that they have for different items, I just don't want to fool with all that. I would rather list 5 more dresses on eBay. But Poshmark has subsidized shipping. It's very easy to get listings up if you've got cool hip clothes or you've got designer items and you don't have a ton of them. Maybe you have 20 items you want to sell or 500 items you want to sell, and they're all current. And Poshmark is a nice way to get a good price. That people will pay more on Poshmark than they will for the same item on eBay, as long as you've got the hot item. And the shipping is included. Everything ships priority mail. It's all part of their fees are lower than eBay. The shipping is easy. The listing is easy. The listing, they ask a lot fewer questions. They do want things stylized. Things that I generally sell are my designer items, designer purses, designer shoes. Those types of things sell a lot better for me on Poshmark than they do on eBay. But I sell those things on eBay too, and I usually get a fair price. I have moved away from Poshmark for that reason. I have better luck on eBay. And then Etsy is the last one that I want to talk about today. Etsy, I have listed my higher dollar items for the simple reason that cross-listing 2,000 items for me is not a good use of my time, because I can take that same amount of time, that same hour that I would spend cross-posting, I can get 10 new items on eBay where there's going to be a lot more traffic. However, if you're making handmade one-of-a-kind items, or you've got a following that can drive traffic to Etsy, that a lot of people have really good luck with Etsy. I never did. I have sold on Etsy. I don't list as much on Etsy, and therefore I don't sell as much on Etsy. But when I do sell on Etsy, I get a much better price on Etsy for the same item than I do on eBay. Etsy, they don't haggle as much. I do get lower offers occasionally, but when they are, they're not as low as my lower offers on eBay. eBay, I get a lot of lowball offers, and you can set up guidelines to automatically decline stuff like that, and I have in some cases. But when I do make a sale on Etsy, I generally make more money per sale. Their fees are substantially lower than eBay's. And the one thing that they've started doing lately that I don't like is they've been pushing free shipping on the sellers. They've been telling us that if we don't do free shipping, we're not going to get top search results. And so they've really been lifting the people who offer the free shipping up to the top of the search. And so if you don't want to do free shipping, then you're going to get pushed down. And so fewer people are going to see you anyway. eBay doesn't do that, and I don't like to offer free shipping. Here's the reason why I don't like to offer free shipping. First of all, there is no free shipping. Somebody's paying for that shipping. And with the postal rates, they went up last year, they went up again this year. Every time the postal rates go up, are you increasing the price of your item, or are you just making less money? I would rather be more transparent, and what I do is I offer the cost of the item and calculated actual shipping. And when that happens on eBay, it automatically adjusts it when the Postal Service or UPS have rate increases. So my item didn't get more expensive, but it shows that the shipping got more expensive. A lot of people don't like that. I don't like it, but the shipping went up. The shipping went up, somebody's paying more. My item is still worth what it's worth. I don't want to take less for my item because the shipping prices went up. And nobody in their right mind believes that free shipping is actually free. The other thing too is when you offer free shipping, what if it's an international order? What if I'm in California and I sell to somebody in Vermont? The shipping's going to cost a lot more. So do I add it, when you do free shipping, do you add it to the cost of the price, the worst case scenario? But what if I'm shipping to somebody in Long Beach or San Diego, California, and the shipping is going to be a lot less? And if it's a heavier item, if If it's a vase or some type of sculpture and it's heavy or maybe large, big piece of artwork, that difference in shipping cost from a local shipping to across the country shipping is going to be significant. Whereas when I set it up for calculated shipping, it adjusts that by the customer's zip code. That is one benefit to Poshmark, is no matter where you're shipping, you're not worried about it. You're not paying the shipping. Poshmark subsidizes the shipping costs, and so they make it easy. But that's my take on the 4 popular platforms that I've mentioned. I've used all of them. eBay's still my favorite though.